Victor, it's super good to have you here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for receiving our invitation.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself a bit and tell us just a bit in the beginning, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, of course. My name is Victor Stricker. I'm 22 years old. I'm an entrepreneur based here in Copenhagen, where I drive my own consultancy agency, and I'm part of a venture capital fund here in Denmark, where I'm currently based in one of our portfolio companies, Easy Green, which is like a solar company selling energy optimization for Danes. We're working primarily with that and my consultancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy. And you just said that you are 22, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me tell you, wow.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Like, let's go. I love when people are super passionate about what they're doing. Yeah. But can you tell us a bit of your history? Like, how did you get started with this? Like, how are you able to be so freaking far when you are 22 years old?
Yeah.
I would like to know.
Yeah, of course. So I lived up in Nordsjælland with my parents, and I think from already an age of 16, I started, having these thoughts about what can I do on the side? Can I do a little bit more? All of that happened with me just starting off by going on YouTube, learning various different things, not even in business in the start, just like, okay, how can I be more charismatic? How can I dress better? All of these different things, like having this growth mindset right from the start. And then one thing led to another. All of a sudden, my soccer team where I played football and everything like that, they saw that I was with my head down in my phone. Mm-hmm. Said, okay, can you take some pictures to start doing our SoMe for the football team? I was like, sure, I can do that. And then one thing led to another. One of the kids on the team, his dad actually saw some of the things that we posted and said, hey, I have my business here. I'm selling this here in this very small town that I lived in. Do you want to help me? I said, sure, I can help. I've not really done anything besides that, but I can do that. So I started off doing a little bit of SoMe for him. Started off doing that, and then all of a sudden, hey, do you want to get paid? Sure, I like to get paid.
Oh, so you're doing all that without just for free? Okay.
Yeah, just because
you thought it was fun.
Yeah, you just started out by doing. Yeah. Then one thing led to another, and all of a sudden, then you need to have a CVR number to get paid, and then I've been doing this for 4.5 years now. So, yeah. So that's more or less how my entrepreneurial journey started. Been doing various different things. Currently working, as I said, with primarily digital marketing for my own consultancy. Been part of the venture capital fund here in Denmark, and doing primarily marketing. So it's pretty fun.
That sounds great.
How did you get into venture capital?
That's actually a very, very funny part, a very funny question. I'd like to take that a little bit back, because along the journey of consultancy, working with various different clients, I very quickly found out that I really loved the startup environment. I really loved seeing how people grow, like the results that I come in and give. I say, okay, this is what my campaign's doing. This you have to do like your business like this, or whatever, like digital online world. You have to do it like this. And then you see the change and the output that these clients are getting. Some of them life change, and some of them like they're actually being put in a better position. And for me, that just started with me figuring out, okay, I really love startups. I really love seeing that journey. But most importantly, I actually really, really enjoy building something and seeing, how can this, move the needle. So I pretty much asked myself, what is the most, the place where you can get like the most change or the most building. Like that's kind of what I like doing, building stuff. And then one of my mentors, Klaus Markman, he told me about, hey, you have to have a vision. And I didn't know what a vision was. I knew about goals. I knew about all of these different things, like making small goals, going to the big goals and everything like that. Right. But he basically, like in 2021, I think, said, you have to have a vision. You have to have a vision of what you want to do. And he really helped me paint out this vision of how can I visualize, how can I really set myself on this path. And then already back then, I said, what I want to do once this consultancy is built up, once I've done some certain things, I want to go into VC. I want to see how can this pan out. And ultimately, I think like 1 year later, after I set that goal and really had it in my mind, basically walked around with a little piece of paper in my wallet every single day, looked at it. It happened. Like one of them reached out and say, hey, we have this position. Do you want to come here? We really dig you. And initially it actually started off with, hey, we like your agency. Can you maybe take us on? I was like, sure, I'll have a new client. And then they stopped and say, okay, listen, we're more looking for you. Can you maybe jump in? And then I joined Easy Green and their venture fund behind them, and now part of Easy Green. Have helped them, on their journey, and have my consultancy with me also, which been building out and have some good clients with. Yeah.
How is it to be? Okay, like maybe there's a weird question, but how is it to be where you are right now, and you think about the fact that you are just so young, and maybe you look at your, I don't know, maybe some classmates you had in high school and so on, because I've been through high school, I've been through university and all that, and it's kind of funny because when you are 22, there's not the type of things you're discussing. You're not sitting with people, owners and stuff like that, and talking about venture capital and like what is the how does it feel to be in that position?
It's very strange. I'm very blessed in that sense. Right. I believe that, obviously I wouldn't be doing it otherwise, but I really believe what I'm doing is the right path for me. I really enjoy when people they go out on their own path and have some ideas of what they're gonna do. But definitely, like in the beginning, like all of a sudden you have to figure out, okay, what is this entrepreneurial stuff? How can we build up a business? And for a fact that that's not just something that you do. You have to have the certain mindset to actually achieve these things, and then that set me on a journey to how can I improve myself? How can I become a better version of Victor? How can I build up this business? And that started with me. And when that starts with you, you have your friends drinking, going to parties, everything that the typical high school, the typical mid or start 20s life and everything like that. They start to notice and say, hey, why are you not coming out? Right. Why don't you want to drink? No, I'm sorry. I have this. I want to do this. This is my goals. This is what I want to do. And they initially started by saying, okay, this is not really like what we know you for. Right. Why don't you want to sit here and play 5 hours of video games with us anymore? And why do you want to go out and have a drink? Sorry, I'm laser focused. I'm locked in.
Was it hard to say no to those things?
Yeah, I'd say, but again, for me, it's always been about me being very, very driven. So in the beginning, I'd say yes, it was hard, but then more as I wouldn't say success came. As I'm still very young, I'm very aware of that. But the more I achieved, and I still have a lot of things to achieve, they all started cheering me. And initially I was like, hey, don't do that. No, just come here and sit back. And they wished the best of me. They really did. I really truly believe that. Also, my parents have been like a huge supporter of it. They also said, hey, you have to get an education. You have to do all of these things. And I was like, sure, but it's not really what I want to do. But they really wanted me to go that path. Be sure that I got everything planned out.
Because it's usually more secure, right?
Yeah, exactly. So for me, being able to say no to all of these things, like a very, very huge point of my life. I remember not always being that fun, missing out of a lot of stuff, but then as things came, they also saw that the results that I started off getting, and then they started supporting more and not saying, okay, you can't do this. Some of them actually started saying, okay, how can I do it? Can you help me?
Oh,
yeah. And I actually got my own little brother to start on the same journey with me. Yeah.
Cool.
So
how old is he?
He's 16 now. We started off with 14.
I'm really looking forward to see when he's 22 where he's going to be.
Yeah,
That's
definitely
crazy.
on the right path in that sense. So it's very much for me right now of where I'm. Wouldn't say in my career, but almost to both inspire, but also like lead the way of this is the vision that I'm building. Do other people see the same vision? That's kind of my journey right now. Yeah.
Did you ever feel like having to fit bigger shoes than you could?
Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. I had a lot of imposter syndrome in the past. Like all of a sudden, you're sitting here, 21 years old, sitting at like a big office, like basically from one day to the other, you're sitting at you had like a home office, and then all of a sudden you're sitting in parking with these guys that are talking like big numbers, like an office in parking, talking big numbers, how they're gonna do all of these different things. Like, and I immediately thought, okay, there's levels to this. I definitely have like a very narrow view of this consultant view. I basically thought that everything that I do is right. Everything that I believe is what I'm currently doing. That's completely the right thing. So for me, it had been like a very, very good learning curve, both in terms of imposter syndrome, but also just in general, to get that kind of experience from someone more senior than me, like being a part of a team, seeing how can we build something bigger together? How can we, go from the startup that I'm very familiar with, I'd say for all the clients I worked with in the past, to actually go into maybe more of a role and scale up and see how is it to build something with people. I always believed that initially with my consultancy that I was going to build a business based on technology and with maybe a few people, not a lot of things. We can do it a little bit bootstrap, have like this SaaS company, if you want to do consultancy, something like that, then you switch your paradigms and your focus and see all of a sudden you have this huge enterprise business that's only based with people, basically have like 400 employees. How are they operating, and why are they operating, and why are they continuing to hire people, also firing people? Then you have to kind of adjust to that mindset and see, okay, there's again levels to this. You have to get into that mindset. So yeah, for sure that makes you believe that you have this imposter syndrome, and how do you deal with that? You really have to again narrow down and see, okay, what is the larger vision, and acknowledge where you are on the journey and say, yeah, I'm young. I'm 100% certain that I am on the right path, and I'm going to make sure that I'll just take all the learnings with me, just keep my head down. So that's basically just been what I've been doing.
Okay.
So that's how you overcame also that imposter syndrome?
Yeah.
Just to stay laser focused on...
For me, it's been like one of the most important things that I believe that I'm still doing and have been doing for a long, long time, is always wanting to seek, or at least ask questions, not being afraid to ask questions. There's something that I know that I don't know, then I'm going to ask the questions. And I'm basically been told by people that, basically you ask so many questions. I've basically turned up to work like earlier than everyone, just to be sure that I meet this one guy, so I could just have like an hour's worth of conversations with him. Like I basically planned the day before. Let me just turn up here and ask him all the questions, and with the people that I'm with, like basically keeping a little note. Okay, I'm going to ask him this before I go to bed. Okay, I have this thought. Okay, I want to ask him, what's your point of view? Do I have some like big entrepreneurial friends who've been doing a lot of good things? Like, hey, can we jump on a call quickly after a few questions? I have just an hour's conversation with these people, because they can give me all their knowledge, like all the knowledge that they have gotten through their journeys. I've basically been able to just suck to me in a very, very short amount of time. So for me, it's been very, very important to ask these questions, and the more knowledge that you get, the more questions that you ask, the less imposter syndrome you feel, because you feel like, okay,
now I
know
understand
this
it.
stuff. Yeah. I get the pieces that are coming together.
Yeah. Huh? So I can clearly see you really believe in mentorship.
Yeah.
If we could round it up like this.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see, like, basically now I've been listening to you for a bit, and I hear when you started there was a mentor. When you went there was a kind of like you took the opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. Yeah. Are you are you also looking for people that, like, do you ever actually ask people like, hey, please be my mentor? Or are you just going by life and just asking people questions directly and not really just picking and choosing what you need?
I think in the beginning, like I've had various different mentors. Someone in marketing, someone in business development, someone in mindset, and some of them I've invested like a huge amount of money in, my own money, to get this knowledge from people who do this for a long time. And initially I'd say on the journey, it's more or less okay. You either you ask questions like directly in their DMs, like, hey, I have this question, or hey, how did you do all of that? Or you consume a lot of knowledge through whatever means that they have provided you with, maybe on YouTube, maybe on podcasts as these, but also in paid mentorships. Definitely, have done a lot of that.
Wow.
But as I've continued to grow, I've done that less. I haven't done that for at least, I think, a year right now. So for me right now, it's been more the people that I'm surrounded with. I'm gonna just ask a lot of questions, and naturally, even though they're my peers or they're my colleagues or whatever you want to call it, I have a lot of questions for them, and they have a lot of questions for how I do my part of this entrepreneurial journey. So I think in that way, like, I definitely gotten mentors from also just being in the right places and asking the right questions. And what I've also found out in doing exactly that is when you are new to the game. I also see that with my little brother, obviously, and he's gotten his friends to do the same. Also start with their journeys of entrepreneurship, and then they start asking me. They don't know that there's other people out there, so they just come to me. Who is the closest reference to my problems that I have? So they always seek someone at least one or two steps ahead of them to get answers on their questions. And I've done the same things. Maybe it's just sometimes also a little bit ahead, and then sometimes they don't answer you, sometimes they do. But either way, like, I've basically figured out that if you want knowledge, you have to ask questions, and people are very, very helpful in that sense. They definitely want to help, like 9 out of 10 times. So they always answer your questions.
That's really cool. So I have never paid for a mentor. Yeah. I have had 2 or 3, more or less, but that was just because of the friendship. Would you say that, like, if this is the case, right, that changed my mind, should I actually pay for a mentor? Like, what are the reasons that you would actually?
For me, like, there's always this like big, great analogy of you can go out and buy a book from Jeff Bezos. You'd never be able to actually pay for his hours. Like, he don't even like offer hours anymore. Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, like all of these big entrepreneurs. But if you have like just 1 hour with them, like the questions that you'll be able to ask, the knowledge you'll be able to consume, it's basically invaluable because they've done the walk the walk and talk the talk. And they've all made a book, basically. So they have basically written down and given all their knowledge away in a free format. So in that way, you can get a lot of knowledge just by simply buying the book of someone or listening to podcasts like these of what they've gone out and built their brand with. But in terms of like building or like buying mentors specifically, for me, it's been one of the easiest, one of the quickest shortcuts to the success that I've been able to have as of right now, at least, in going out and consuming their knowledge and having the time to sit down and ask these questions. I remember with one of my mentors, Klaus, was like my mindset coach. He like basically we had like these live Q&As like 2 hours every week. I basically went up there and had like an hour's worth of conversation each time because I just did my homework. Just that I have these questions. Can you help me? And sure, like all of the other ones, they basically paid for the mentorships and they were just there, consuming the knowledge that he provided. But if you don't ask the questions, then you don't get the answers. And that was kind of my philosophy. So for me, I'd definitely say yeah, it's been the fastest way to really taking quantum leaps in where I am. Because I can ask them exactly that question where I'm stuck right now. They've been in the same position. I can see that my journey right now with people that are coming to me and asking the same questions. I know exactly where you've been. I've been there like 2 years ago. I know exactly where you are right now. I know how you get out there.
How do you find a right mentor? Like, where do you go to Google, or what do you do?
I think some of it happens naturally. But again, if you're just out there seeking knowledge, if you're out there, consuming and saying, okay, I actually want to learn something, then one thing leads to another, and then all of a sudden you're listening to someone. I wouldn't say preach, but you're at least consuming from there. You're getting their information, and some of them they have mentorships. Some of them they offer one-on-ones and everything like that. Or sometimes you also just find someone from word to mouth to mouth, I'll say, and then you simply start befriending them and ask a lot of questions, and then maybe you give them some sort of value also. So it's vice versa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How does it like come to this point where you just offer them money?
Yeah,
for the time. Because it's kind of weird request, right?
No, exactly. Yeah. So I've also done consultancy in the past, or mentorship where I've taken money, and for me at least, how I've done it, sometimes they continue to just come and ask, and hey, I have this question, and then you just continue to give value, and then all of a sudden, they ask you, listen, I've gotten so much value from you. What does it take for me to get like 10 hours just worth of like hyper-focused conversation with you? Listen, I've not really been doing that otherwise, but you can get it for this price. But at least in my case, it's been, someone that has this one-on-one coaching basically, and then they provide you with the opportunity to get on that. And then obviously that has a price, and so that's more or less fixed. Hasn't really been anything where they say, okay, we can do this kind of this ticket fee. They just have a ticket fee. That's kind of how it is.
So you have also done mentorship.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that a few times for someone. As I said, like mentorship doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something where you like pay a whole lot of money. Mentorship for me could be everything from like someone who's maybe 1 or 2 steps behind me in my journey, or someone that I'm 1 or 2 steps behind that I might ask questions for, or vice versa. So really, someone who's just walked the walk, or maybe is in the same position that you were this time, have the answers that you might be seeking. So that's the only, what should I say, qualification that you really need to have as a mentor. You don't even need to say that I'm a mentor. I don't consider myself a mentor. Right. But if people come and say, I have this question and I know the answers, then I'll just happily help. That's kind of how my philosophy is.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think mentorship is definitely like a big thing. And I hear that you also talk about books.
Yeah.
Do you read a lot?
I've been doing that a lot in the past. I think that's also a very, very valid point. I can see that specifically also with talking about mentorship. Some of the young entrepreneurs that's been coming to me, I've held a few lectures also in Odense, in my own local high school and everything like that. A lot of the people that came to me about entrepreneurship and everything like that, they all get this very fixed mindset of I have to really dig into the books. I really have to dig into all this knowledge and all of these different things, and I have to read like 10 hours a day to really get very good at business. But in reality, of what I've seen, I can also see that in, as I said, my own little brother. In the beginning, you have to consume that knowledge. You have to read those books. You have to get an understanding of how does the pieces fit together. But at a certain point of time, at least for where I am right now, I definitely want to consume a lot of knowledge still. But then you pivot a little bit. You're going to say, okay, this really, as of right now, isn't providing me with a whole lot of income. This isn't one of the things where I'm getting like more clients, or building up digital funnels, or building up something new in that reality. I'm consuming knowledge that will make me smarter, hopefully. But you can also consume too much knowledge. You can also get too focused on just reading books and just learning from all these people instead of doing the work. Yeah. So where I am right now is I definitely want to just put my head down and achieve a lot of things and build something great. At least as I said, my vision is I want to build something. And if I can just put my head down and see that I'm building something right now, then I know that I'm on the right path, and I'm get a lot of knowledge through the actions that I continue to take through the physical or the things that I'm doing every single day. So right now, I'm not reading a lot of books. I'm not consuming a lot of knowledge. I'm not having any mentors, anything like that. But I get basically the last 1.5 years has been maybe some of the most important for my journey, simply because I've said to myself, cool, the last 3 years before that, consumed a lot of knowledge. Now I want to focus on building. So there's basically seasons to that, I believe. Yeah.
And you do get this this feeling like you're building something a lot in venture capital?
Yeah, I'd say for me, in both like consultancy and VC, as I said, like with Easy Green and all the other things, for me, it's just about, can I be part of something? Can I be part of the larger vision? You want to build something, I want to build something. The clients that I have, they all have a goal, and like one of the biggest things for me is like I don't necessarily need to be the front figure and go out and say this is what I've built. Like one of our clients in my consultancy, like one of the biggest supermarkets here in Denmark. When I live just across the street from them, I can see that when I send like these mails, I do like these campaigns or build something like very, very big. Physically, I can go out and look out my window and see, okay, there's people standing in line just right around the corner, going across the street and everything like that. They don't know it's me that's done it. So that's, for me, that's more or less what I really, really enjoy, seeing that other people can actually grasp what I'm building, and they can use the things that I'm building. They get something out of it. If people get something out of what I've been doing, boom, I'm so fulfilled. And that's exactly what I get the feeling, both in VC, but both in consultancy, everything like that. You get the feeling of building something that this vision this isn't just a vision. This is something that other people can actually use. It has an impact on them. You've been able to set your mark. That's for me.
When did you find out that this is what you enjoy doing? Yeah. Because you said in the beginning you were just sitting on your phone looking down, right?
Yeah. It's so fun. I think especially for young people potentially listening to this podcast. In the past, like basically, I've played a lot of video games. Like I'm a young man, and I am fully aware of that. And I've played, I'd say probably 5 or 6 hours worth of video games every single day with the friends, and I believe a lot of young people have done that also.
And it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. But basically, all of those video games, at least the ones that I've been playing, has been okay. You have to level up this little character. You have to either level this character up, get better armor. You have to get better, level stats, whatever it is. If you want to get a better FIFA team, whatever it is, you want to get the best players, something like that, or you want to get the best rank. You want to achieve something that your friends aren't doing. Okay, your friends are playing, Counter-Strike. They're playing FIFA. They're playing League of Legends, whatever it is, and they're achieving this rank in this game. Okay, now I want to build my character up, and now I want to build this level up. And that's basically what I, sat down and played these games, and all of a sudden, figured out, wow, I really, really enjoy this. I'm actually quite good at it. I can see myself, a very strong visualization in my head. I can see myself achieving these things. I can see myself doing all of these things. I can see myself going out and running a marathon. I can see myself coming across the goal line in this time and all these things. For example, like just a side note, I just ran a marathon, and like I knew in my mind I wanted to run 3:30. That's my time. So I made a playlist on Spotify, 3:30 exactly. No, not a second too much, basically. And then I came in at actually 3:28 because I had been able
Congrats.
to visualize that, and that's been exactly the same for the video games. And basically, when I figured out that I really enjoy this, I really enjoy getting this rank, I really enjoy that. I figured out, okay, there must be something more than this. There must be something where I can use my time a little bit more productive. I can maybe build something else, and then that journey started. And then you make a healthy living on it, and then that's great and everything like that. But then it comes to back to, okay, what is the vision? And for me, there's a lot of goals. I want to achieve a lot of things. 100%. We all want success. We all want various different things. But again, the vision for me is the same. The goals can change as much as they want. But the vision is still, I want to build something. That's what I've been doing since I was a child. I can see myself, envisioning all these things, and if I can envision it, it will happen. 100% certain on it.
What do you do when tough times are coming?
Especially in tough times, there can be like working in consultancy and all the stuff that I've done in the past. You lose a client, you have a bad month from the client. You know that this client might not be satisfied. Rarely happens for me to be able to have that. I'm very lucky. I have a very good roster of very happy clients. I'm very personal with them. But I've obviously experienced in the past that people like clients, they go, and then you have your monthly target or your quarterly target, whatever, and then you start looking at that and say, oh, now it's going the wrong direction. I was hoping to sign a client this month, and now it went the wrong direction. What do I do? And then you can get very focused on, as I said, the goals. But for me, like I've been able and had to really change the mindset of looking at like the monthly goals or the quality goals. Like all means, if they happen, I still do them. I'm very happy with them, and I still want to have them as guidelines and benchmarks. But I have to look at the broader, the broader picture and look at this vision. Am I building something? Yes, I'm still building. Am I learning something? Yes. Am I still on the right path? Yes, I'm still on the right path. Great. Continue what you're doing. So again, it's always about looking ahead and seeing, am I still on the path of the vision? Because the goals, they can change. I really don't care about all the different goals. So for me, in the tough times, I get very caught up looking at, am I not hitting these goals? Why am I not hitting these goals? And then again, it just comes back to the vision. Okay, I'm still doing these things. Great. Then continues right.
So even if you don't succeed, you basically succeed because you have learned something from the mistake, or like you have learned that, okay, I didn't land the client. That means that I'm doing something wrong. So then you're looking for
exactly.
reason.
You exactly, a very good analogy there. Specifically, if you have like sales organizations or anything like that, if you look at like your own pipeline in your own business, whatever it is, if you're doing B2C or B2B, whatever it is, and some of these people, they fall through the crack. All of a sudden, they don't sign, and that still happens to me, like every single week, every single day, almost. Why did that happen? Am I just going to beat myself up about it, or am I going to change the system? Like for me, like if we're talking practical, like I initially found out that I had a lot of meetings every single month or every single week. Like I booked a lot of meetings for my own consultancy, for my own digital agency, and that was great on paper. Like more meetings basically means more clients later down the road. But then all of a sudden you figure out that, okay, statistically, actually you only have 55% of people coming to these meetings. Why is that? I'm paying for these meetings. I've done a lot of things to acquire these people in my own, own funnel that I'm doing, or whatever it is, like my own ads. Why are these people not coming? You get very frustrated, and instead of just looking at the numbers and why is it that this is so, then you go in and see, okay, let me just look in the machine again and see where is this like falling apart? What
did you find out?
What can you do about it? Yeah, I basically figured out that I need to provide more value for the people that get on this call, because otherwise they just have it in their schedule. We've talked a little bit via email or SMS or on the phone or something like that, and we figured out that we want to jump on this call, but they haven't been provided with more information. So I basically figured out, okay, if I can provide them with even more information, like during this period, now they're booked, automatically I'm going to send a few mails, like something like that with, hey, this is what we've done in the past, this is why you should have this call, this is like all of these different things. And basically the results I saw in that was going from 55% show up rate to like 95, just because I changed that.
Wow.
And that's kind of my thought process behind everything. Either you just look at the results and say this was bad, I'm sad about that, or you're going to look at where did this fall off? What can I do about it? That's basically the mindset I have in everything. Can I improve? Can I continue to grow? Yeah.
Okay. So just for me to kind of just to understand it, or analogy again. So you hook them first, right?
Yeah.
You have them there, and then once they are hooked, you still like not keep on hooking them, but you just affirm that they made a good decision, that they have
exactly. For me, like in basically everything like that I'm doing online with my own business, there's really no reason why, let's say, I should go out and invest heavily into a new website, or invest heavily into a new content production, everything like that. But for me, it's about, can I build like long-term a brand, something where I provide a lot of value? Can I provide them with basically the formula? I'm giving out all my secrets. I'm giving out like all of the information. How can you do this yourself? Like, this is the reason why other people have done it. This is how I'm doing it. You can see exactly the step-by-step guide to how I'm doing it. I'm giving them all the information for free. They just have to show up, or they can get it before. They don't even have to show up. They get all the information. But again, I know at the very end of the day, like, people, they unfortunately have a very short attention span, and they have a lot of things going on in their lives. So when you get too much knowledge consumed, they sit there and say to themselves, okay, that's great. I really can see a lot of value in that. I don't have the time to do it myself, but who have given me all the information, who've taught me everything that I know right now? Oh, it's this guy. Great. I'm going to go to him. I'm going to go to him and have it implemented. So I'm basically giving out the information and selling the implementation. And that's exactly what I'm doing in this setup also. Saying, okay, this is how I've done it for other people. This is how I can do it for you. You can also do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, here's the formula. This is what we've done. But if you want someone to take care of it for you, you know where it is. Yeah.
Right. I mean, this is very much the Alex Hormozi formula, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And I think a lot of businesses, they need to adapt to this reality. Like, information is so easily available, so why not take advantage of that to build your brand and also to reassure your customers? Because back in the day, it used to be like, look at all these amazing things I've done for other clients.
Yeah.
And that used
it's a company secret how we did it, right?
Yeah, but like that used to be good enough, right? Like, if we did good for them, they're probably going to do a good job for me. But nowadays, there's so much, like, information is so easy to get.
Yeah.
So it's not just enough to say, hey, I've done good jobs for them. It's almost like now you need to also say, hey, I'm a really cool person to work with.
Yeah.
I know all this, and you can get all that. And I think in this process of you giving information is also comes to they get to spend time engaging with your brand.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. And exactly, all of the things that you say, there's like basically the grandmaster of marketing, like back in the day, made a lot of very, very good books called Eugene Schwartz, very, very great marketing guy. As I said, one of the grandmasters in the marketing formula playbook, whatever you want to call it. He basically have a formula where he called it the market sophistication level. And this market sophistication is basically the different stages of awareness level. Like, there's the traditional marketing funnel, the top funnel, bottom funnel, wherever there are people in the marketing space, they know all about funnels. Or there's also the market sophistication level. Like, where are these people in their awareness stage? And depending on where they are on this stage of this awareness level, they need to be treated differently. And specifically with the questions, or with the answer that you just had with people in the past, you can just show them, hey, this is what we've done. And back then, that was enough. They were at like marketification 1 or 2, something like that, where they just needed to be provided with, hey, we've done this in the past. Great, all that looks great. But later down the road, like the market changes so much that, like, basically where we are right now, and especially in the digital consumer world, people have seen it all. People, they have seen everything in terms of consultancy. They've seen everything in B2B and B2C. They've heard all the offers. I can give you these results in 90 days. Otherwise, you get your money back. Plus, I'm gonna give you a 1-week vacation for your family. That's basically the offers that people are providing you right now. Because that's the level of market sophistication where they're at. They need to give. You need to give so much value right now, and that's kind of my strategy. If you want to give as much value as possible, so that they really trust you, and then by all means, then you come and say, "Hey, I can do this for you. I've given you all the information. You can do it yourself. I know that there's 10 other people that can do it for you also. And they have all these offers. They can give you a 1-week trip to the Maldives and everything like that, if you choose to go with them, or I can do it for you because I've given you like all this information. You've seen how it works. That's kind of my process of my how I think about it.
Right, but not all values are the same, right? Because what I consider being value added to me might be something different that Simon may think is valuable, right? So how do you know what to
what value to provide?
How to invest your energy in giving the right value to the people that you want to engage with?
Again, it's one of these things that you never know what's gonna hit. You never know, if I put a lot of energy in, let's say, one of these case studies of I have my go-to-market journal that I call it, where basically open up for like everything in my consultancy, like all of the things that I've used 35 million, annually on for the last couple of years in Danish crowns to actually getting to this level. Like all of the templates, all of the formulas, I'm basically just opening up and say, this is how I'm doing it. And I don't know if, that's going to be like a big hit, 100%. It might be just something where a lot of other consultants or agencies or whatever it is get a lot of value. But for that specific niche, like that one founder looking at those exact problems that I have just opened up for, I've given oceans of information and knowledge for it. Like they're going to consume it and they're going to sit there and say, wow, that's great. I really got a lot of value for that. Like this is basically too much. How can I implement it? And they know that the source has all the information. They have all the formulas. They know just how to implement it. Like if I give you like the keys to my business, like great, now you have it, but you don't know how to drive it as well as I do. Right. And that's exactly the same, kind of formula here, where not every time you're going to hit hit on the nail with what you're building and whatever it is. Then you're going to learn from that. And if you really try to go very, very segmented in and say this is the problems that I have, this is how I'm solving them. For example, my agency, like, do I have show up a problem to the meetings? This is how I solve them. Like someone in that space might have the same. Other people like not having as many meetings as we do, like they don't care, like got zero value out of that. So it's just about building very, very segmented and personalized content, I'd say, or information that you're providing, and hoping it comes out to the right people.
Right. So not offering trips to Bali or anything.
No. For me, no. For me, I'm never gonna do that. I'm not gonna be. Actually, a very, very funny very funny story of mine. One of my very, very close friends, also in the scale up game, he basically had me invited into one of his companies with like a huge senior board of directors and everything like that. And I held a little small like a small this is how we're gonna attack this case and everything like that. They really loved it. They really liked how I was gonna attack this case for them. But they had an offer from someone who did exactly that and tried to sell them on. This is exactly how many leads. It's exactly what you can expect. You're gonna get as many close. This many closes on. You're gonna get all of this, and if you can't do it, or if you don't do it by any means, you're gonna get all your money back. We're gonna do all of these different things. Like, and it's a no-brainer offer for them. Like 100%. Like where I just sat there and say, listen, take that guy if you want to do it. I know, like I can see on his resume, I can see on the cases that he's been working at, he don't have anything to show on him. He has nothing to show for it. He's not done anything in the past. He's not worked with the clients that I've worked with. And I have this offer, and I'm not going to sit here and promise you like the world, because I know that's exactly the position that this consultant game is in, where people, they promise the world and usually under-deliver. I'd much rather under-promise and over-deliver, because that's what I know I always do. And like 3 months later, exactly that happened. He had to give all the money back because he couldn't do any of the stuff he wanted to do. And that's kind of the problem that I see in at least the market that I am in with founders that I'm talking with. They've all been attacked basically by countless emails and everything like that, promising we can do this in these days and it's going to be risk-free for you. And again, it's just time wasted and a lot of money spent on something when there's other good people out there. I 100% believe that they're also good people, but they're taking the short way of promising a lot of things that they might not be able to hold accountable for. Instead, yeah.
At some point, you mentioned that you like to stay very personal with your clients. How does that actually look in practicality?
It could be like been to Milano with one of our clients, been to England with I have a lot of clients in abroad. I have some of the biggest e-commerce stores in certain niches in England. I have clients in the US, I have clients in Italy. I have, again, a lot of very, very good clients here in Denmark also. But various different things like, do you want to attend some of their awards, for example? If you want to attend some of their, like their team building or something like that, where if they're doing like a big event, definitely.
But how do you even get invited for that? Because how come that they consider you to come? And
that's more or less if you have a very, very close collaboration, as I do with my clients. I at least say to mine that they have my personal phone number. I'm not going to sit there and not answer them if I see a message at half 11 every single night or something like that. They know that I'm going to provide them as much value as I can and really try to go the extra mile for them and come with a lot of different initiatives that might not be on the contract that we initially signed. That's kind of how I operate. I have this consultancy where I do customer journey building. And for me, customer journey building isn't just necessarily saying, okay, I'm going to work on your Meta ads. I'm going to take this fee for Meta. I'm going to take this for Google, all of this. That's not how I operate. I operate on, okay, I'm going to build out your digital customer journey. If you guys are struggling with how do you do content, by all means, I'm going to have a look at, I might not be the best at content, but I have this collaboration with someone else who can do exactly that. I'm going to help you storyboard it and script it. Okay, we're going to do your conversion rate optimization on the website. We're going to help these branding initiatives. How does that fit into the strategy that we're going in and doing? Doing stuff like that. Trying to go the extra mile for the client and not really just looking at either how many hours are we doing for this client or what does the contract say, but instead say, okay, this is how the client can be extra happy. For me, as I said, I have like 1 month binding on all of our partnership. That's the only thing. But all of my clients is here for roughly 15, 16 months on average, and that continues to rise. And that's because I know that I go this extra mile. So that's more or less how you get invited to all these different things, that you really feel that I'm a part of the team. And when I'm a part of the team, then If I go by to supermarket, they say, hey, do you want a cup of coffee? Do you want some food? And sure, I'm not here to work on you guys, but I'd like to have some food, or I'd like to do this with you guys. I'd love to, be at this team building event, whatever it is, and they invite because I'm a part of the team in that sense. Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking what you said before about the whole thing about games, and you build up your character and things like that. And it seems to me that you took some of that and apply it to your own life in a way that you feel like you're building your own character, but in real life now. But in video games, it's very clear like what you should do, right? Like if you wanna like level up, you just gotta kill more monsters and stuff like that. How do you know like the path to level up in real life?
Yeah. And that's one of the things, like a very, very good question. Again, I personally always set it back to, is this a part of my vision? Like, again, do I want to do, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, that tomorrow I'm going to go and start like an e-commerce store. I'm going to do drop shipping. I'm going to do whatever it is. I'm going to do something completely different. I'm still building. Okay, am I on the right path? Yeah, I'm still building. That's my goal, my vision, to build something. Great. Then cool, then we're still doing it. But again, for a lot of people, they generally go about living off goals. They wanna do something, wanna achieve something. We always have this great analogy of what I call A, B, and C goals. This isn't something that I've made myself. This is something from Bob Proctor, like a very, very successful mindset coach over in the US. He basically talks about like different stages of goals. So there's A goal, and there's B, and there's C, A, B, and C. The A goal, he has this analogy where he goes up to a man and asks, what's your goal? He says, my goal is to have this BMW, basically. And then he asks, okay, what car do you drive right now? I drive a BMW. Great. How long have you had this BMW? I've had it for 4 years. Okay, and what is your goal? I want to have a new one. So that's a bad goal. That's a bad goal. You've known for 4 years how to do exactly that. You've known for 4 years how to get to that goal. No, there's going to be no growth in that. There's going to be no, passion or anything like that. And how can I achieve this? Because you've done that like 4 years ago. You got a brand new car 4 years ago. And then there's the B goal, where it's more or less, you have a goal, but you haven't really, set any right direction. You just say, I want to build something. There's no real direction there.
It's not clear enough.
Yeah, it's not clear enough. You haven't really defined it. You haven't really written anything down. You haven't really told necessarily anyone. You haven't really taken action on it. Like if you want to have a goal, for me, it's about writing this down and basically having that as your amendment. And then the C goal is obviously you have this vision. This is the vision. This is the one that I've drafted. This is the one I've written down. This is the one I'm always falling back on, always relying on. As I said, the goals that can change as much as they want. And for a lot of people, they do. They change a lot of goals, like in their jobs and their careers and in family and everything like that. They change goals maybe every single week. Whereas my goals, they also change from time to time. But the vision, again, it's always the same. So that's, more or less, if you want to build up this character in this analogy, it's about figuring out what is this vision. How do you get to that position of what really provides you with happiness? For me, I just really, really enjoy seeing growth and pushing myself and seeing, okay, this is necessarily something that isn't been done before by others, or at least someone that I know of. I know like a lot of people, they have probably the gold medal in entrepreneurship. I'm not trying to be the one here and say I'm going to have the gold medal in being the biggest entrepreneur and everything like that. But I definitely want to build something and take that goal forward. Yeah. I know that answered the question.
No, it's good. I just don't know how aware people are that this is actually a thing. That you can level up your character, or that a lot of the, I don't know if it's just the school system or if it's just how things our society kind of structurized around this, But it seems to me that there is very few people that take actually an active stance on, okay, this is where I wanna this is what I would like to do. What are the steps towards it, and start building. This is sometimes I talk to people. It's almost like this a completely foreign idea.
Yeah,
like that they never thought that I can build something, or there is something that I want to tackle, and that I can be part of. I think most people, it's not even a possibility. It's more like how can I get this job that's gonna give me this life comfort, but that is not actually something they want to do, right? So
exactly that. People, they have a lot of what I call paradigms, placed upon them from like their childhood. It can be from the parents, from where they are in life. And the funny thing about humans is that they don't know what they don't know, and usually people they aren't willing to go out and actually say, I don't know really anything right now, so I'm going to try to get that information. My vision that I've made in the ripe age of 22 isn't something that I've just figured out overnight. It's something I've really had to look very closely back on, and been thinking about basically for the last 4 years of how can I actually do something? What is the goal with all of this? Then I just figure out one day, all the pieces align. I really enjoy this thing. Okay, it must be about building something. It really hits the spot with me, because for me it's about I don't really care about how much financial gain will I necessarily be able to get, and will I be able to thrive? That's one of the goals under that 100%, and that will happen if the larger vision just aligns. But people they don't know what they don't know, and they aren't willing to go out and seek that information to get to that position. Because if you just start off by saying I want to be a billionaire, like you don't have any knowledge of what it takes to be a billionaire or a millionaire for that saying. So you have to get that information, you have to get all of that knowledge, and be able to set yourself on that path, and try various different things and fail, try again, and continue to rise, and then put yourself in that position. And that's kind of how you get to a place of saying, okay, now I know something, but I definitely still don't know everything. And you continue to do it. Life has to be, at least in my opinion, something where you always seek out to learn something new.
Do you consider yourself self-made?
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say 100%. I've had a lot of great mentors and people in my life, my family, and everything that's put me on the right path and helped me with struggles and whatever it is. But I definitely 100% believe that I've been able to put myself in this position. This isn't something that I've just been given. This is something where I've actually had to do a lot of stuff, and the life that I have right now is because I've been able to do
for it.
These certain things every single day. Like for me, it's very very something that I get a lot of joy out of, just looking at, let's say, my new website, for example, like stuff like that, small things like that. You can see, okay, this was nothing before, like this didn't exist before, and right now this is a living organism that's where people they seek information, or they get something out of it, or they provide them with value. It's something like that. How can you take something from nothing to like this is living on its own? For me, that's exactly what I want to do. That's how I know that's what I want to do. And then all the financial stuff and all of the stuff on the journey, they'll come. But again, this is like these two things, from nothing to something. It's kind of what I enjoy. Yeah, definitely self-made in that sense.
Would you? I would like to go back, because you mentioned this guy, the book
Eugene.
from a Eugene Schwartz. What was the book called?
It's actually just getting out of my memory right now.
It's okay. But a different question.
Yeah.
At that time when you were reading a lot of books, what book was the book that has the biggest has had the biggest impact on your journey?
Very, very fun. There's two that I'm thinking of right now.
Okay.
First and foremost, I'd say Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Okay, I heard that.
Very, very like a title with a very, very catching title, but it's actually just like one of those titles where it gets people to look. Where it's actually all about how do you build up this vision? How do you figure out that this is something that you want to do? How do you craft this vision? How do you change your paradigms? How do you go back, like a computer, for example? If you have a computer, if you put in a CD, then it's going to load up the game or the movie or whatever it is that you've just feeded it to them. But what people, or at least an analogy that people don't really think about is, your own head is exactly as that. If you put in a CD with bad, like a bad movie, that's exactly what's gonna, go on and continue to play out in your head. So how do you change, and how do you put in a different CD in your own head? How do you change those paradigms? How do you change, like, whatever it is from yourself going and say, I can't do this, or this isn't something that I believe I can do. I'm not one of the ones that are supposed to have success with this, whatever it is. How are you going to change those paradigms? And where do these paradigms come from? So you're going to change them, put in a new CD, do a new hard drive, whatever it is, and then have all of this, new mindset and have this new vision that you want to craft. And that's basically a book that's provided me with exactly that, giving me the knowledge to really craft this vision that I've been able to set myself on the path for. And then the second one is the Almanack from Naval Ravikant. Believe a lot of young entrepreneurs, they've definitely read that one. A book that's basically from an angel investor who's invested in Twitter and in Notion and like a lot of our big startups in the US, like basically become like a billionaire in that space just by investing in other people. He's basically become like a modern philosopher in mindset and in how do you build businesses, and why does he do as he do. Again, back to one of the first things that I said in this podcast was you're never going to be able to talk with Naval. You're never going to be able to talk with Elon, never going to be able to talk with Jeff Bezos, anything like that. But
never say never.
Never say never. But again,
it's hard.
You can't buy hours from them. But from Naval, you can get all of his work basic in that book. It's basically just for free. And he'll set you on, like at least he did for me, set me on a right path to understanding business and thinking in different levels. I think I read that book like 4 or 5 times just to consume all of that. So yeah,
I think I need to reread the Almanack because I remember. Whoa, what is it now? Maybe 4 or 5 years I was reading, because it's also in the form of podcast, right?
Yeah.
I think it was him reading it just through.
Yeah.
And I remember I was at that time, I think I was doing some kind of cleaning job, and I was just, dreaming like how I wanted my life to be, and definitely it definitely influenced my path on my life, I must say. So I think, but now when you mentioned it, I kind of like forgotten about it, and I'm thinking, okay, I need to reread it, because there's many things that I think I will have a totally different perspective on now when I am here.
Exactly, and that's exactly the same thing. I still go back to the Almanack or stuff like that. Let's say I've read it 4 or 5 times, but it is still there's different levels to where you are on your entrepreneurial journey, and in your journey as a human. Again, if you look at like 4 years ago when I just first started reading the Almanack, this was a totally new game for me. Maybe didn't understand everything, and if I start reading it now, I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna get like an epiphany of something that I could use today.
Absolutely,
100% that I've maybe forgotten or not thought about, or if this gives me an idea for this, something that I'm gonna try, something like that. Yeah.
Mm. Victor, thank you very much for coming to this podcast.
Yeah, thank
It's
you very
been
much.
really a pleasurable hour. I've learned a lot. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and
Thank you very much.
your experiences in your life. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I hope you had a good listen, and see you in our next one. Bye bye.
Thank you.